Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here this morning. Got a great show lined up. I enjoy bringing this show to you. I know a lot of y'all enjoyed it. I get amazing feedback from y'all. I really appreciate it. A lot of y'all sending your names in now and adding something to it. And I really appreciate that. So we're going to keep throwing out some good stuff, good news. That's what we're all about, doing good things for folks and enjoying yourself in the great outdoors, you and your family and your friends. That's what brings the show on. Weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center. And right there on 77 and on Baldwin Road is almost, they ready to put that final coat of asphalt on. I know y'all have been worried about that all the time, but they took a Christmas break too. A lot of construction people took Christmas breaks, and I'm glad to see that. Everybody just took off a week or two and enjoyed it. So anyway, it's about finished. High today 66, low tonight 55. Water temperature 63 degrees. That's the coldest it has been this whole season going back to the fall. It's really, going back to, last winter when it started dropping in the fall. Remember, it was a late drop, and I'm going to get that chart for you. But it's fascinating this year. It just didn't drop until really now it's starting to drop in January. Now, the 30% chance of rain today, it's warming up. Obviously, you can see, we've had this cold weather, and now we've got a little bit of warming trend. But we're going to talk about the rut, and this weather, I think, affects the rut. A lot of people don't talk about it, but I believe it does. When it gets really cold, and they're talking about some really cold weather next week, so we'll know more about that as time goes on. Let's take a look at river readings brought to us by Watson's Landing Marina and Dry Storage. They're good folks down there, and we're looking at Apalachicola, Bluntstown, 21.9, right at 22 foot, and it's falling, and it's got a pretty decent fall on it now, so that looks good there, but it's still all the color in it. And now the Choctawhatchee at Caryville is at 13.7, and it's falling. And I got tickled over when the rivers went up this year, all these charts, and I use these charts almost every day. I have been for a long time. When it first came out, about 5 or 6 years ago, I started using these, and now I see a lot of weathermen are now using them. So I'm glad to see them because it really gives you a good visual effect of what's going on. And but we show them every day, not just when it's high water, because sometimes it's important for outdoorsmen, even in normal, if it's dropping or rising. That's why we do it every day. Tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. Looking at a low tide this morning at 5:55. High tide at 7:48. Good, decent tides. This weekend, some good, strong tides. Now, wind direction today, marine forecast is coming out of east at about 5 to 10. So, not a bad day. We'll dodge these showers and can enjoy the big outdoors. So, let's take a break and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back, folks. Let's start looking at some pictures. Start with, I was running through some pictures. I took some pictures on here that have nothing to do with outdoors. I'm going to share one with you from the Christmas holidays. But let me give you a quick background because Jeff and I were just talking about it. He had one too. When I was a little boy, my mom and dad, or Santa Claus, brought me an electric football game. Now, some of you guys out there probably had one too. But I just love that thing. I saved. I still have the box it's in. I always had it under the bed wherever we moved. I always had it. We'll put it at the top of the closet. It never got used much. But I bring it out every Christmas. We put it in the Christmas village. And Mason, my grandson, loves to play it. And so he had it out during Christmas vacation. And he's just fascinated. It makes a loud noise. You hit a little buzzer. I'm gonna show it to you. This is my electric football game when I was a kid. First down marker on the other side. And Jeff, who was your team? The Steelers and the Steelers and the Dolphins. Mine was always the Quincy High Tigers because I was a kid, and I would pick out who we were going to play that Friday night. But I don't know if y'all remember this. It's still almost in mint condition. It still works great, and it's got a kicker on it. But I have nothing to do outdoors. I just wanted to share that with you because Mason got it out, and it makes a loud noise. I can remember playing it when I was a kid, and the noise buzz and a vibration on it would make the guys move. And I can remember my dad, we were in the corner trying to read the paper. I was trying to get it quiet so it wouldn't bother him because I knew he'd worked hard all day, but I have fond memories of that. Okay, now we showed you yesterday. One more time, I want to show you this picture of that CCA tagged redfish. That was Sunday, and it was really fascinating. I'm going to show you another picture of it in a minute, but it's, of course, the tournament's over. Be sure, I'm showing it to you again, so you be sure and enter it for the contest next year when the CCA, and I'm going to let you know about it. They put them in Choctawhatchee Bay, St. Joe Bay, Apalachicola Bay, all the bays here, they put some of these tagged redfish in. For next year, we're going to jump on that. All right, let's move on to some pictures. Read this. This is one text to me. This is good. Coach Chester, this is Brad Tilghman. Coach Chester, this is a deer that my son Wesley killed while sitting on the stand with his mom, Nancy Andrews Tilghman. It was a 17-inch wide, 7-point kill in Alabama yesterday. This was last Saturday. Nancy tracked the blood trail drop by drop, crawling through heavy thicket for over 200 yards that night with nothing more than a cell phone flashlight. She is a deer tracking machine. That's the great. Anytime you send a picture with a story like that, Brad, thank you so much. I text back to Brad. Nancy and all had gone through. Nancy Andrews had gone through Mosley, and I coached her dad and mom, Nancy. And when she came through school, good athlete and all, and she was a great mom. For mom to do something like that in that cold weather we had last week for 200, and you know how it is tracking her through all that thick stuff. That is a good mom. I told Brad, I texted him back. I said, Nancy needs to start a deer tracking service. And he texted back, no way. She said, no way she would ever do something like that because it's hard. Now, you want to see some nice fish, check this out. How about, you're talking about, now that is a big grouper, okay? This is Enoch Waddell. They caught this one, I want to say Saturday or Sunday. Really nice. The guy behind him looks a little jealous, don't he? That was a gag grouper. That's Enoch Waddell, and that's Jason Smith behind him. Good job, Enoch. Okay. Then we got some other nice fish here, or nice deer. Let's see. I'm going to get. Here's that tagged redfish again. Okay. You can see the tag coming out of the main the dorsal fin up there. The tag come out. That's where the tag comes out there. Okay. This is my great nephew, Dylan Chester, up there in Bristol. Dylan. He's an outdoorsman already. I think he's 8 years old now, but he's growing fast. But good job, Dylan. This deer had been run out by the flood, and it's up there. And he was in the tree stand. His dad Matthew, and good job, Dylan. I'm real proud of Dylan. Okay, and how about just catching some? This is Adam Reeder yesterday just catching off the dock. Right, this up in Southport, catching some nice trout off the dock. This time of year now, those fish are really moving around. So that's the pictures. I've got more coming later. So we're getting caught up on them. Real quick, I want to mention this. I wrote this down last night. You know, we're about on it in February. Is a great month. February and early March, a great month for sheephead fishing. So keep that in mind as you're making outdoor plans. I would love to see someone out there, some tackle store or some club or whatever, have a sheephead tournament. Or either like a month-long tournament or just have a weekend tournament, and just real simple, and it would be a lot of fun. All you gotta do is just weigh the sheephead, and you know, always have, when you have a tournament, I feel very strong about this, have a couple of categories. Have a captain's category, and have a recreational category. Mexico Beach finally started doing that on the Kingfish tournament. They had the captains coming in and winning all the time, and some of the recreational guys coming down from Georgia and all, and rightfully so. You know, captains fishing all day and all year round, and you know, everybody fishing all, but let them have their category where they're competing against each other, and the recreational people competing against each other, because it's not, you know, it's like having an amateur sport and professional sport, and they're playing the same thing. So have that, and also I always have a kids category. So if you know anybody's going to have a sheephead tournament, we certainly promote it here, and it's a good time of year to have it, and a lot of fun to catch, and some really good eating. Also wrote down duck season. We got actually 4 weekends left for duck season, but remember now, when duck season ends, we'll have that youth duck hunt the first weekend of February, where you can take some kids out. Grown up, just take some kids out, and it should be a really good time to go. Won't be as crowded, but keep that in mind. You put it on the calendar. That's the first weekend of February, that youth duck hunt. So go ahead and enjoy it now. And I was reading some stuff the other day, it reminded me of something I would do when I was a duck hunting fanatic, about getting a big old tarp, either dark blue or even a black one, put it out in the woods somewhere, or sort of an open area where wood ducks or ducks going to be flying. Put some pine straw over it, put some decoys over it, sort of leave some open spots where it looks like water. And so, and really that's what you do during a drought. Right now we've got so much water it wouldn't work, but you maybe want to think about this for next year. That tarp would depict like a little wet weather pond or something. And if you have hunting all, you know what I'm talking about, and put some decoys out there, put it in a place where you can get to in and out. Now I'm pretty sure that's legal. I don't see anything wrong with that, but it was, I ran across somewhere. It makes a lot of sense if you want to do that. Think about next year. Also, you know, birds will do that. I can remember a long time ago. I'm running out of time. Let me take a break. I'll be right back. I'll tell you that story later. We're you know, sometimes with this situation, we're not experts at this, and we're just learning as we go. We're trying to get some stuff done, and I want to show you this video. So what we want to do, we're talking about the Emerald Coast Redfish tournament, and it's coming up in shortly, and we're going to try to run this video, and they've done a little 3-minute video, and I practiced it last night, but it's going to be coming off my iPad, and we may or may not be able to get it. Okay, so we're going to yeah, I don't know what we're going to try it. Okay, let's see. I played it. It worked good. As always, worked great last night. You think that's going to work right there? Think that'll work? Okay, all right, I hope you enjoyed that. Now, here's the big deal. The Emerald Coast Redfish Series, we've had those guys on the show. You recognize, you saw Mark and Michael Cowart, you saw Fred Meyer, Hunter Ray, and a lot of those other guys that all along the Emerald Coast. And what I love about this organization is a bunch of local Panhandle guys that's putting it together and fishing. And they'll fish around all different places. So the 2016 series now will be starting, I believe, in February. I'm going to get those dates for you later, maybe have some of those guys come on the show. But if you want to, a lot of y'all are good red fishermen, And you're talking about good, friendly competition. It's not cutthroat, and they talk to each other and all, and it's really, it's just, if you're into tournament fishing, excellent way to get started. And they'll have probably 5 or 6 different weekends at different places too. So you have your home field, or you can have home field advantage, but then you also get to travel some and explore some new territory. So check out that Emerald Coast Redfish Club, okay? Because it's really neat. And I also mentioned one of the things you want to do if you get a chance is to take some people with you and fish it too, because they may really enjoy it. And usually you fish it that Saturday, and then have a weigh-ins and all. And it's just a lot of fun. So appreciate that. And that's on their website, Emerald Coast Redfish Club. All right, we'll take a break and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Let's take a look at our fishing game forecast today, brought to us by Mark Coward, Accounts Real Estate. 2 times, 9:43 to 11:43 this morning. Tonight, 10:09 to 12:09. So that's important. You try to get out in those times, and also if you have a chance to take advantage of that. Now, I want to add some names. I've got a bunch of them in here. I got a bunch more sent last night, so I can't get all of them, but I'm going to put them in a chunk at a time. Martha Bostick, Lynn Haven, Susie Gibson, Gracefield, Mark Gibson, Gracefield, Anda Gagne, Lynn Haven. Okay, Ted Gagne, I know y'all won before. Gloria Turner, Panama City Beach. Gloria, hope you're still doing a lot of fishing. Shannon Burton, and Steve Brookins. Steve Brookins up there in Lynn Haven. Corey Brookins, his son, and Phyllis Brookins, who's the brains of the family. Phyllis. All right. They watch every morning, the Brookins family, and I'm glad. Now, you can enter the whole family. Just don't enter your dog, but enter the whole family. Robert Scarabin, Weewall, Candy McAreeth, Panama City Beach. We got viewers all over. Random McAreeth, Panama City Beach. Nancy Barker, the Phoenix Springs. William Barker, the Phoenix Springs. Okay, that's enough for now. I've got more to add. I'll call out all these names, so make sure that I've got them. Y'all are texting them, emailing them, and all that. So we'll get them. If you don't hear your name called in a week or so, let me know. But I'm going to try to have everything ready for the Friday drawing of this week. I'll add these tomorrow, and some more will be coming in now. What I want to do now, because it's been fascinating to me on the river readings, the history of the river readings over at Bluntstown, and it gives a good gauge. Now, what I want you to remember, I'm going to show you the top 6 river readings in the history of the river readings. Now, keep in mind, they've done river readings since the early 1900s, but the Jim Woodruff Dam was not built until 1951 there in Chattahoochee. So it had an effect on it, but the highest the water's ever come is 20, I'm gonna have to look at it, 28 in 28.6 in 1929, the highest is 28.06. Okay, the second highest is 27.9 in January. That was in March. This is January of 1925. I can imagine. Now remember, there's no dam there. But now this next one's going to be 1998, which was not that long ago, folks. In 1998, in the spring, and a lot of y'all remember this, 27.23. 27.23 in the springtime. Okay, 1998. The fourth highest reading ever recorded at the Bluntstown River reading is 27. These were pretty close. 1994. This was in August. So August, you know the snake's around. 27.21 in August of '94. So you know a lot of it happened there. Now, the next highest, again pretty close. This was 1990, not too long ago. 26.3. That's the top 5 readings. 26.3 in 1990. And now this number 6 is the one we just had, 25.63 in December 31st, 2015. It stayed up there for 2 or 3 days. It stayed at that level. Okay, so those are the top 6. And keep in mind, in those early 1920s and all, that had been a spectacular event to behold, to see all that water without a dam. It's just all flowing out there. And technically, if you saw the pictures, it was almost without a dam this past time, because Lake Seminole and Apalachicola River was just like this. It's just fascinating, this flood. Hope you enjoyed it. I got some good comments on the video showed. Now, trivia question. What is the lowest reading ever on the Bluntstown River readings? The lowest reading ever. Okay, here it is right here, 1986.02. So that's a trivia question at work today. You can ask some of your friends. 0.02 in 19, what year was that? 86. Not that long ago. You imagine a drought going on back then, okay? Now, let's switch from go to river, go back into the woods. There's a lot. I'm going to talk tomorrow about the effects of all the animals and how it's affecting animals. I've talked to people up and down the river, and they're saying a lot of the same things. And I won't get in detail tomorrow about what's going on as far as the squirrels, the rabbits, the deer, the bass, all kind of things are in a different category along the Choctawhatchee River and also the big river over here. But let's talk about real quick. I want to mention the hunt. Okay, when we're hunting this time in January, the one thing to think about is the rut. It has started in some areas, and January is my heavy month for hunting. I just love to hunt in January, especially the middle part. That's when I really, that we have those 3 or 4 days off for the Martin Luther King holiday, and I really hit it hard then. I just love to hunt then. We've always been successful, the folks I've hunted with at that time. So go ahead and start thinking about the rut. I know some of y'all already have it. Some of y'all still will have it later, but I'm going to talk about it. This month of January is really the peak of the time in this Panhandle area. Like I say, eastward has already had it up in Eufaula, Alabama, where I hunt up there. They say they have 2 ruts, one in December and one in January. So big thing though is make sure first of all, the most important thing is your scent. Over and over again, we'll talk about your scent, your cover scent, and also having a doe estrus scent out there. And remember, those bucks are careless this time of the year. I'll tell you tomorrow the story of that last 8-point I shot. Was right in the middle of the rut, and how careless he was. And I was just sitting there, and he just walked out on me. I mean, I really sat down there against a tree to rest. I've been walking a while, and I knew it was a good area, so I just sat down. And within 10 minutes, he walked out. And I was really on a scouting trip that day. So it's amazing what can happen. So anyway, we're going to talk more about the rut tomorrow. Also, we're going to have our first drawing of the year will be tomorrow. I'll get all these names in there, senior names in, and getting ready for a big weekend, it looks like, okay? We're going to wrap it up. We're running out of time again. Thank you all so much for watching Panhandle Outdoors. Do something good for your fellow man today. You have a great day. Enjoy the great outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.